Hi, welcome to another endorsement interview with the Times Editorial Board. Here today we have two candidates for Lake County Council in the 3rd District. We have Democrat Jamal Washington and Republican Michael Sanders. Welcome. I'm Doug Ross, editorial page editor at the Times. Also in the room with us we have Bob Heiss, editor, and Brian Vernellis, videographer. Let's get to the easiest question and the shortest, hopefully, is who are you and what prepared you for this race? Michael.
Well, Michael Sean Sanders, running from 3rd District, originally from Gary, Indiana, still live there in the area. Just got into it because the one thing I've loved about Gary, and you can quote me on this because I will say it anytime someone asks me, is if someone has a problem in Gary, Indiana, we all are at minimum income having trouble with surviving, and no matter how I look and wherever I've been, people are always wanting to help each other out. So I figured I want to help back, so I started running as of last cycle, and I've been happy about doing it ever since.
Okay. Jamal?
Well, my name is Jamal Washington. Born and raised in Gary, Indiana. I'm a Maryville resident now. I'm living in Maryville for about 13 years. Currently, right now, I'm over at Illinois Central School Bus Company. I'm just excited to be out here today to represent our people and county-wide to make sure we make the right improvements.
Okay. One of the things people are talking about is job creation. So what can you do to help them? Michael?
Well, the biggest thing that I ran on last time and I'm running on again is the infrastructure. The infrastructure in Northwest Indiana is crumbling actually quite badly. Potholes all over the streets. If you drive through Gary, it's a perfect example of how bad it's gotten. I feel that if we can improve the infrastructure, because there was a time in the past where we had a structure and process where we were going to link all the train systems and bus systems, and I think that's a very good thing, because if everyone can get from Gary to Chicago and back, like on a train or with buses, however they find to get there, I think that's going to in turn bring more jobs and more people to the area, because it's more easy to travel around the area. Right now we have lack of bus services, we have lack of train services to all the major areas, and I think that's a real important thing that we should be addressing.
Okay. Jamal?
Just so I'm clear, your question was about job opportunities and job creation, correct?
Right.
Right now we have the South Shore that's looming. I think that's going to create a lot of jobs. The amount of jobs that they talk about creating, that alone is going to help our community. Now, to get more jobs creation, if we talk about job creation, we have to attack as far as public safety, because to get businesses to come out here to start their business, they need to feel safe. So we need to attack public safety as well. So if you attack those two elements, the new business will feel more free to come out here. But right now we have the E911 project that will have job creation in there. We have the South Shore. We have the construction they had at the Gary Courthouse. But things of that nature. But long term, I really think we need to look at public safety. Tighten up public safety, and by tightening that up, that will make more businesses feel freer to come out here. So.
Okay. So the question is, what would you do to boost public safety as a council person?
Well, first of all, I know we have an issue right now as far as giving raises to the county. I think that's something that need to be addressed. It's easy for me to say, sitting here, Doug, that we need to give them raises, but I need to look at the budget. But we need to support our public safety first and foremost. That's how, when they know that we support them, they're going to go do 110%, and they're going to go out there and make sure it's done. But right now, I think we're not supporting our public safety enough. But the reasoning I do not understand yet without looking at the current budget. So
Okay.
that makes sense.
Fair enough. Okay, Michael?
Well, as public safety, I completely agree with Jamal as far as the public safety is concerned. It's been a plaguing problem in Northwest Indiana for quite a while. It's definitely something we need to address, and it would be more equipment, more officers, but the question with that would be getting the budget to do that. And right now, we have to work on getting our budget on track before we can do any of this. The top priority for this new administration and the new year in the next couple of years is we have to get our budget on track. It's absolutely essential. We have to cut back where we don't need funds, and we have to use the funds where they have to be used, like public safety, infrastructure, which I pointed out before. Public safety goes hand in hand with the infrastructure, because you have the infrastructure and more people come in, and then you have the public safety on top of that. That's how we would bring jobs. So in that instance, I agree, but I believe we should look at the budget. We absolutely need to balance our budget.
Okay. What would you do about use of the income tax? I mean, where do you think it should be going?
Well, I think we should take a look at the budget and see where it needs to go. If it's infrastructure we need to work on, that's what we should work on. If it's because I know the county police are looking for a pay raise, I've been checking into that, and that's a good thing too. But at the same time, you know, for that you want to get more equipment, better equipment, so you can support the officers that are out there already risking their lives. But all of this has to be a budget concern. We have to see what we can do with it. The income tax, which I know people have been talking about, the 1.6% tax, I don't believe, in principle, people don't mind it so much if they see where their tax dollars are going. And so transparency is one of the key issues that I'm running for. If you need to know what I'm doing with the money or what the council's doing with the money, you should be able to come in anytime you want and look at our records. Make sure that we're doing it the right way.
Okay. Jamal?
When it comes to budget, a lot of ideas are good ideas until the planning process. So the particular budget right now, I don't know if it's a good budget, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen the budget. But once I look at the budget from my standpoint and say, you know what, this is reasonable, this doesn't make sense. Why is this amount of money allocated to this particular fund? And now we can address that, because just because this is an old phrase, to do better, you have to know better, right? So once we understand the current budget, we can make changes. Now, when you talk about income tax increases or anything like that, I think anyone, first of all, right now, we still in a recession. So everyone is getting hit still, foreclosures and so forth. No one wants to really get hit in that sense. We're already getting hit. Why would we get hit again? Kicking us while we're down. So what we need to look at is see if these funds is really going to the right area. Say, I'm looking right now and saying, guys, I'm going to say $5 million going to this fund. But guess what? $2 million of it shouldn't have been put in this fund. So before I put the burden on any taxpayer, I want to make sure our house is tightened up. When I was the IT director for the city of Gary, I saved them over $5 million over 3 years. Not because I'm a rocket scientist, but because I did the actual, looked at the job, managed what we had. Like, for instance, we had like 400 phone lines that we was paying for but wasn't being used. Those are the type of things we need to do. It's very simple to sit here as a council person and say, you know what, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is right. But let me look at the budget and say, why are we spending this? And then that way, before I go to anyone and talk about any tax raises, I will know that budget back when it's forward. And as far as the public knowing, like I said when I ran in the primary, I'm saying it now, before I vote on anything, I represent the people. A lot of times people forget that, and when they get in office, they start making judgments, and it's more of a dictator. I did that for you. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. What I'm doing is setting up for my people, for my constituents, I should say, and say this is where we are. Go to Sherrville, go to Maryville, go to Gary, and make sure we have representation for the collective.
Okay. Do you think the 3 satellite offices ought to be shut down or kept open? All of them, part of them?
Well,
what is...
Yeah.
First of all, what is the cost that's costing us? For me to make that assessment, Doug, I would need to know what is the cost per site, right? Is the productivity there? So once I know that, then I can make that judgment. You know, I can sit back and I can be a backseat driver all day long and say this, yes, shut it down. But that's being ignorant. Ignorant meaning lack of not knowing. I do not want to be ignorant. I want to know. So I will say, let me look at the budget. Wow, guys, we spending this. And what are we receiving off of this? Okay, well, I think off of the budget, I think we should reduce it, because that's what the county council pretty is over, the budget. You know, well, we should reduce it from 3 to maybe 2. Then I can make that call.
Okay.
Well, my problem with reducing the satellite offices, if they're covering a certain area of the county, and if you cut back the offices, you cut back the available services to all the people in all the areas of the county. But I do agree we should look at the budget and see if it's practical to have it. But at the same time, people want to go somewhere that they can get to, that can give them the help they need. So as far as the satellite offices being open or closed, we'd have to investigate it. As far as that goes, yeah, productivity, is it serving the purpose it's meant to? But I wouldn't want to haul off and close it right away, because I want to make sure that it's helping the people in the area it's supposed to be in, to help them.
Okay, if you close it, and that brings up the question of public transportation, and should the county expand it, and how would you pay for it if you do?
Exactly, which I was talking about as far as the infrastructure goes. Because I know there's a lot of things that we shouldn't be doing or should not have been doing in the first place. And so once the budget is examined and we go over it as a council, and we just got to make good choices about where the money should go. And I could make a fair bet that we could find some money to work on infrastructure and transportation if we do what we're supposed to as far as our budget is concerned.
Okay, Jamal?
Well, transportation, most definitely. We just had a new facility that they had to extend transportation in Gary to this new facility because it was job opportunities, but the people couldn't get there. Same scenario. If we if we keep these sites open or close it and we have to move away and public transportation don't go there, of course we have to go to the RDA, and the same way we did for the other facility, do it here. Doesn't make sense, because that's what the RDA is here to assist us. So most definitely I will be reaching out to our RDA and saying, what do we have to do to make sure that we keep, that goes to job creation too, the infrastructure and job creation. So we saying, hey, it's two things we're attacking, but everything goes back to the budget. If we go to a site and do the research on that site, and that site only helped 10 people, we'll use that for example, 10 people over 30 days. Does that make sense, Doug? But it costs us $30,000 to upkeep. So those are things we have to look at to go back to your original question, would I close it down?
Okay. The easy question for the voters, the one that they care most about, is what's the difference between the two of you?
The difference between, well, I'm just an average guy. And I'll tell it straight out to everybody. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not rich. I don't have a bunch of houses. I've been running businesses my life. I've got 20 years of management experience. And if you look at my record, even last election, I do have a voice that people want to hear. And so I would take that impartiality into the office, because we're there for the people. They elected us. Least we can do is do our job that they elected us for.
Okay, Jamal?
Well, the question of what's the difference, I don't really know Mike to say what's different from him to me, but who I am is I would never run from a fight. I will always stand up. Right now I'm in a crisis right now, and I'm not running from it. I'm here, and we're trying to help our community. As far as I'm not rich either. I don't think too many people are. I mean, not today. I mean, we all either, even you make $200,000, you probably got $150,000 in bills. So I don't think anyone's there. So as far as owning houses and so forth, I don't own a lot of houses, but I am that guy. I'll go to work every day, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll take somebody call at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I've done it in the past. People who are watching this video podcast, it's probably like, yeah, that's right, I called Jamal, and we solved that problem. I would never, ever, when I'm elected, hopefully I'm elected, run from anything. I will attack it head on, and I'll give people honest answers, and I will go back to community forums. I said it in the primary, I say it again, I'll say it tomorrow. Community forums, I think that's the key. Getting the people more involved in the process, getting them to understand. Once we understand where everything laid out, if we had to raise taxes, guess what? They already understand the path we're on. It's not just throwing on us and say, okay, tax increases, so.
Okay. Bob?
Well, you guys have been talking to voters for quite a while, primary and now. What are you hearing? What are the couple things that the people tell you all the time that they want you to address if you get in there? Jamal?
That's a good question, because just today, someone said, Jamal, I voted for you. I said, thank you so much. And I said, okay, what made you vote for me? Because how you handled my kid. I said, okay. With that being said, they really want me not to change. Everyone says, don't change. Be exactly who you are today during this campaign when you get elected. If I got a problem with Jamal, answer the phone. You know, don't all of a sudden get your phone number changed. And don't hit me with taxes. Mostly everyone's talking about that. That's the big thing. How are we looking with taxes? Another big topic that people are bringing up is the work release program. And they like, how can they let that happen? You know, currently I'm not in office, but that is a concern. There is a huge concern right now that the work release program was canceled. I understand what the council has said right now, why they did it. I'm not saying it was good nor bad, because I haven't seen the budget. But that is a concern to the answer to your question.
Yeah, and I've had the same thing. I had someone vote for me for the same reason, because they remember me from the last election. Basically, it's just a matter, they want to know about the taxes. Why did we get this 1.6% tax all of a sudden raise? And then, you know, the police want a raise. What do you want to do about that? And I'll reiterate what I said earlier. People will understand a tax rate if you inform them about it, as Jamal was saying, but they will also want to see the tax dollars at work. If you're going to raise my taxes, what are you using it for? Is it just going in your pocket, or are you actually using it for the good of the county? So that was one of the questions I got. The other one I got that is about the county police. And as I said earlier, with as far as that goes, I would love to give pay raises to all the police. The police have the hardest job in the world. They put their life on the line every day for everybody. But the thing about it is, you have to have enough money for equipment, cars, weapons. You know, you have to be able to support your police. I'm all for a raise if we could do it. Because would you rather be safe, or do you rather be dead because you're making a lot of money but there's no money for equipment? So it's a balancing act. And as the biggest thing that we both said, and I completely agree, we need to look at the budget and see what we can do. Okay. And neither one of us is in the office yet. And so until we see what the budget is and we know where everything's going, you know, we can say what we'd like to do, but we have to see the budget first. That's just the truth. That's just the truth.
Have either of you asked to see the budget?
At this point, Doug, I want to be totally honest. I have been focused on my bus crisis right now. That's all I've been doing, day in, day out, because that's my immediate job. You know, if I did anything different, then I'll be misserving the community. I'm running on being who I am. So if I did that right now, that's me talking about something that I shouldn't be addressing. I have enough time. I'm a pretty smart guy. If I get elected November 4th, November 5th, they'll see me. Can I see the budget? I already have it lined up. I know who to talk to. I know what to start looking for. I'm going to ask for the last year of minutes. You know, I want to know what people's thought process is. Why did you vote this way, vote that way? I have a plan. I have a strategy if I get elected, how to get into the mindset. I will make sure I understand Robert Rules of Order. You know, so right now, my understanding is making sure these kids get back and forth to school during this trying time.
Okay. Michael?
Yeah, and my focus is on the budget as well. But in my case, the first thing I would like to do is I would like to, yeah, as I was saying, transparency earlier. Before we make any major decisions on any budget cuts or ads or anything we're going to put programs on, let the people see what we're doing. As I say, open door policy. If you want to see what we're doing, come on in. We'll show you what we're doing. So you have the confidence to know that we're doing what you want us to do, because you actually can see it on paper. You got the proof right there. There's nothing hidden under the table or in someone's back pocket. You know what we're doing every step of the way. So if something happens, be it a tax increase, if we move to another program, whichever direction we go, everyone's informed, they know what we're doing. And so there's no surprises.
Okay. Is there anything we didn't ask that we should have?
I think I'm pretty much pretty straightforward on my views. You?
One, I just want to thank everyone who voted for me in the primary. That's like a dream come true, to give me the opportunity to make a change in my own children's lives. My child right now, hey Destiny, hey Time. See, I actually said it this time because they said I didn't. You know, hi. I have some wonderful kids, and to be able to make an impact on their lives going forward. This is 4 years that I'll be able to say, hey, baby, this is how you do it. This is how you make a change. If you want to make a change, it's not getting mad, it's getting smart. So hopefully, by me showing these things to her, which I would show her anyway, but in this capacity, I think I'm just excited. Again, hey Destiny, hey Time. Excited to help them out.
Okay, well, if we can do that, yeah, it'd pretty much be the same thing with me, because as I said, people help everyone out around Northwest Indiana. It never ceases to amaze me how much people will go out of their way to help people. And so what I want to do is I want to repay everyone who's helped me by helping them. And hey, Sean and Lexus, I hope you're watching this. I love you both, and you, Sharon.
Okay, well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Thank you for viewing.